going to the loo. Just 2 minutes in blissful solitude, and with my phone. But it's a dream I know that cannot be realized. 'Cause there's 2 kids in here with me, maintaining contact with my eyes. I dream of simple things like sleeping on my bed alone. It's bad enough I have to share it with my husband. But now to what there are several other people there. Pick me in the face and boobs and gather fistfuls on my head. I swear if anyone tells me yet again it's easier when they're young, and I believe those people with my kids and watch them come undone. Once I realize they're not taking drugs or running county lines, they are relentless, totally relentless. They want something for the party time. Of course I love them. Obviously. I swear if anyone tells me yet again it's easier when they're young, then I will leave those people with my kids and watch them come undone. And I so real they're not watching forward from joining right wing. So I don't need to work and in my drawer of spaghetti food. And the thing that is worrying me is we didn't have spaghetti hoops. I swear if anyone tells me yet again it's easier when they're young, then I leave those people with my kids and watch them as they come. And whilst I realise they're not point blank refusing to go to school, their faces are entirely made up of snot and paint and crumbs and drool. Of course I love them. They're the greatest people I have ever met. But I swear if anyone tells me yet again it's easier when they're young, then I will take those people to the pub and tell them the ways that they're wrong. One songs from the second show, the Third Carriage from the End. And George is going to talk in a minute about how she's kind of expanded what some of you saw in the studio. So we're going to work these two pieces alongside each other. And at the moment, I think The Girl with the Red Balloon, which I'm going to talk about now, which is a mime script, is probably going to run as a prologue to this piece. So The Girl with the Red Balloon is a mime script. I suppose after the fashion of Beckett, play without words type affair. And it imagines what might happen if Banksy's Girl with the Red Balloon, piece of street art, comes alive when there is no one in front of it, her. This French film, which follows a kind of red balloon, living balloon that befriends and makes his journey through the Parisian streets. And both of those pieces and the piece that George has created, the kind of theme of them is kind of, I guess, hope, empathy. I think empathy possibly for both. So the idea will be that Red Balloon will start, possibly being a little bit longer than it was, maybe not. And then we will switch the set and we'll be in another part of a station where we will go in this piece.
And so Third Carriage came about as part of Danny and Rob's Short and Sweet Festival last October. It was originally 2 characters, the lovely Jules is here tonight, she played one of them, who had 4 duets. Since then, I've expanded it to include 7 characters and 11 songs. There'll be 5 duets, 4 solos and 2 group songs. Although it's worth saying that I envisage rich harmony support from other characters, solos and duets, and all the characters will take part in an expanded version of the first 2 songs for those of you that saw it in the studio. The premise is the same: sitting together, 6 passengers sitting together on a tube, all ignoring each other, as we all do when we're in that situation. But the piece explores what connections there might be between these people, and what happens if you remember, as Lou said, that we're all just people with similar worries and fears and hopes and dreams.
So we're going to rehearse this in very much of a kind of collaborative way. And so obviously we're looking for a cast who largely sing. For my piece, I also need a young girl, I think, who dances. Doesn't necessarily need to sing, but could actually be doubling in one of the other characters. So we're kind of like looking for casts that are interested in the idea of growing a piece. I suspect what we end up with will be, I imagine it will be different from what we begin with. So if you're someone that likes to know what you're going to do kind of on day one and then you go away and learn it, that might be a bit scary. But I think this is, is a lovely challenge for that. We spoke about the prologue. So Red Balloon, we need a younger female identifying actor who can dance and who really importantly is able to do the communicating with the audience. So they need to be in the moment with the audience in a very brave way with some kind of improvisational clown-like movement and mime. It would be lovely if they could sing, possibly, because they could double as one of the other characters. Just going to talk about one more character before we move on. So a new character is a narrator. If you've seen those, I can't remember what they're called. They're kind of like positive,
all on the board.
All on board, that's it.
In the tube stations.
So there's a series of those that form the basis of a kind of narration that connects a little bit more plot through Third Carriage from the End. So that character could, it doesn't really matter what the gender is, but again, they need to be someone that is not scared of playing with the audience and knowing there is an audience throughout. So that's the first character, a new character.
Yeah, any age, any
yes,
sings a bit.
Yeah, a little bit of singing.
Yes,
which might grow.
So Passengers 1 and 2 are the same characters that appeared in the shorter version. They're notionally both in their 30s, but ages are very approximate. And they're both alone, but trying not to be lonely. And so Passenger 1 is a bit uptight, organised, busy, and fine, absolutely fine. 2 minutes. The other is slightly more relaxed and chaotic and happy to say that it's all good. These characters provide the most developed arc as they imagine a partner that is in fact sat next to them the whole time.
So we are going to hear another song, so I'm going to do this last bit really, really quickly. There's another character who's an older man, a singing role. Is it one song? Yes, it's one song, rather beautiful song. And then we have a fourth new character, which could be any gender or it could be. They're a cool younger actor. They're quite different to the other people in the carriage, I would say. And it's quite important to hear another song.
Yes,
to finish.
Part 5 and 6, both mothers. You've heard from the younger, frustrated mother earlier. The older one is an empty nester and has my favourite song, possibly. And the finale, which I'm just going to do a verse and a chorus of, which will take no time at all, goes like this. Shoulders touching. Long white looking downcast eyes, so close together. Connections gone, just to love someone. Doesn't it seem a little stray of yourself? What can I do to make a tiny change like the sky of free? Why not change a life that you make the day? Two seconds. Simple answer.
Right. I mentioned earlier we've got loads of seem to be pretty lucky, not lucky, but hard work getting hold of the licenses for these plays. We've got licenses for things that I never thought we would be able to. But again, with the next production, this is for March. Another recent huge smash hit play. Mark Sullivan's going to tell us all about it. I meant Mark O'Sullivan.
Right,
Correct.
right, Everly. Hello. Aldens, the east side of Wellington City.
East side.
How did he get in? How did he get in? Aldens actually elected its first form councillor last week. But that's not why I mentioned it. Every Friday and Saturday night, I used to go with my parents as a kid to the Haldens Residents Association, the HRA club. It was a sort of community social club. And on the door there, they had a little old man who they used to just sit at the entrance with a pint and a little old computer that wasn't actually connected to anything. Don't know what made me think of that. So, prepared as I'd like to be, just because tomorrow morning in just over 12 hours, I start rehearsing my new adaptation of Sherlock Holmes, which is on at the Roman Theatre between the 5th and the 20th. Must mention right. I can't believe it's 2 years since I stood here to talk about a monster. 2 years ago. What a different world it is now, huh? A lot's changed in those 2 years. Just the local elections demonstrate that alone. It is sad, isn't it, when people go for seats and they don't get elected, including prominent Barn members, I understand. Very sad to hear that they didn't get elected. I'm so fucking delighted that there's one. Right, it shouldn't get political. I'm afraid it's unavoidable because this play is a political play. It's political, it's familial, it's hysterical, as in funny, it's magical, it's beautiful, and it's brutal, and it's bloody brilliant, this play. I know several people here have come up to me and say, oh, you're doing Till the Stars Come Down. I saw it in London, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it as well. I won't give you the full production history because, let's face it, if God had meant me to do that, he wouldn't have given us Wikipedia, would he? But just for a little bit of context, it's not an old play. Beth Still's play premiered at the National in 2024 before a run in the West End in 2025. Till the Stars Come Down is set in the present day in what was once part of coal mining country in Nottinghamshire. It is Sylvia and Marek's wedding day, and you are all invited. Sylvia and her family have gathered to celebrate in traditional English fashion. What isn't traditional is that, unlike her older sisters, Sylvia's husband-to-be isn't local. Marek is a Polish immigrant. And as the festivities unfold, fueled by beer and vodka, emotions run high and fault lines appear in this family that will change their lives forever. The play takes place over an almost 24-hour period, and so events unfold in what feels almost like real time, and the tensions and the jeopardy build steadily throughout. This is a play about secrets, about shame, about love, about longing, and about devastation. From the heated straighteners of the morning of the wedding to the heated arguments and recriminations the night ends with. I think anybody, and I know there are a few here, anybody who grew up in a working class family or area like I did will recognise these people, these lives. When I first read it, I was immediately transported back to the weddings that I used to get dragged to as a kid, some of them at the HRA club. I don't know why I'm pointing at you, you weren't there. You could almost guarantee at some point that there'd be an argument about a falling out 20 years previously that no one could remember the reason for. Someone called Debbie would be sick because she doesn't usually drink. An old Irish man in suit trousers and jacket that don't match would sing Danny Boy. And Diana Ross's chain reaction would lure every middle-aged woman siren-like to the dance floor. And there was always drama, and it was always memorable, and it was always great. Now, this term is bandied around a bit too much, I think, but this really is a state of the nation play. It looks at the circumstances and concerns of this one family which echo the scars and divisions of the country we live in, especially the devastating economic and social changes in so much of the Midlands and the north of this country. This play looks at the ease with which we all, if we're being really honest, sometimes blame the thing in front of us, whether it's immigrants, capitalism, 0 hours contracts, Brexit, deindustrialization, immigrants, because it's easier than looking behind it to see how we got to this point. But it's also, this play, a family drama in a universal sense, showing how we are bound together by blood and by history, how we're wrestling with our individual and collective desires and disappointments. And it's not one-sided. This isn't a you're wrong and I'm right piece of writing. These characters are real, the people are real, their humour is real, their world and their grievances are real, and they are justified. As I said before, you will recognise these people, you'll recognise their faults, you'll recognise their prejudices, and you'll recognise their hopes. Let's talk characters, shall we? I'm not going to give a person-by-person breakdown, not because I'm lazy, I'm a little bit lazy, but because, honestly, you should read it. You should read it and see if someone connects with you in the script. There are some to die for parts, especially for women. The 3 sisters at the heart of this show are honestly astonishing parts. They require depth, comic timing, and a raw vulnerability from each of them at different points of the story. Age-wise, the spread could be anything from sort of early 30s to 50. There is Marek and John, the husband-to-be and the husband of 2 of the sisters. They're in the same age range as the sisters. Then there are the older characters, the sisters' dad and an absolute gift of a part, the formidable Auntie Carol. Everyone had an Auntie Carol. It's a bit too much, drinks a bit too much, and she's fucking brilliant. I love her. So, along with we're streaming this, aren't we? Sorry about that. Along with her husband, Uncle Pete, these 3 are most probably in their sort of 60s to 70s. Then there are 2 younger characters. There's the older teenager Leanne and child Sarah, who's probably around 8 to 11 years old. So I need to get all my swearing out now, you see, so I'm doing it in front of them. For me, casting will be about getting the gaps and the dynamics right. I'm not going to turn anyone away if they feel a connection to a part and they want to audition for it. A word on accents. We're going to be going for proper, authentic Nottinghamshire, not just a vague, oh, that sounds like Norfolk Walmer Green. So we're going to be bringing in some expertise to make sure we get the accents right as well. Off stage, who's on board? Nobody. I did have a stage manager, but she's dead now. They're going to text at 7:30 this morning saying she can't do it. No one is helping me with this. It's just me. This stage, sorry, 2 minutes. God, I'm the best, Linda. All right. So please come and help me. Right, it's staging. We're going to do 2 things that I don't think have ever been done here before. Thing number 1, you people down here won't be sitting there because those seats will be raked up here on stage. Thing number 2, I've only got 2 minutes, shut up. Thing number 2 is we are going to have the stage here. We're also going to have Howard Revolve. And I think it's the first time that's happened. And I know now, just saying that in June's Bar News, there's going to be, I'd like to point out to Mark O'Sullivan, there was actually in 1972. In a production of Vicar in the Rockery, there was a Revolve that was mechanically linked to a wheel that was powered by Belinda Putley. Anyway, that's brilliant. Right, let's just don't look at your watch for a minute. This honestly feels like a brilliant season to me. Well done, Clive. And particularly so for women, quite rightly too. For sisters, plays with sisters in, in particular. And look, I'm not going to lie to you. Hills of California is a fantastic play. Of course it is. If I can use a food analogy just for a moment, it is haute cuisine. But if it's meat you want, prawn ring for veggies, and acres of beige party picky bits on trestle tables, then this is the play for you. I love comedy. This play is really, really funny, but I also love things, as some of you may know, that take a baseball bat and slam it in your face. And that's what this does. I'm so close now. I didn't do one last year. I should have 20 minutes. I'm really close now. Really, really close. Right. And you made me lose my place now. No, I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say, I'm just going to leave you with this line from the play because it's my favourite, okay? There are many great lines. During the wedding reception, Marek, the Polish immigrant groom who arrived in the UK on a megabus with £60 to his name and now runs his own successful building firm, offers his new sister-in-law's unemployed husband a job. The sister-in-law mutters, "Oh, they give us jobs now, do they?" And Marek replies with this: "You need to decide whether you are a victim or superior, because you can't be both."
Right, April, and we expect a sellout for this one. Incredibly popular. Tons on seats, etc., etc. Maureen Davis is going to tell us more about them, and
Oh dear, you thought it was going to be the bloke, didn't you? The Bible, bad breath. What a great opening line, not for me, but for Dawn French, when she opened her very first episode of Vicar of Dibley. It was a wonderful TV sitcom, and it ran for 13 years, from 1994 to 2007, with great ratings. And it really was a great comedy, wasn't it? There's lots of moments throughout the play where, or the series, where you can pick on certain things that appeal to you. There's that scene where Geraldine is jumping in the puddles. She gets to the really tears. And we costumes to do that on this stage.
back, and right back.
And there's that lovely piece with Alice Tinker where she talks about, "I can't believe it's not butter."
Yeah.
The timing in that is superb. What a wonderful actress she was. And then the iconic Christmas episode where Geraldine actually is opening her lips with her fingers to try and force Brussels sprouts because she's on her third Christmas dinner. Comedy genius. And the writer, Richard Curtis, he got his inspiration from when the Church of England decided to allow women to be ordained. And it's loosely, well, we believe he loosely based Geraldine's character on the Reverend Joy Carroll, who was one of the first women to be ordained. And of course, we all know the story of Dibley. It's about the village with these eccentric characters and fun-loving, chocolate-obsessed Geraldine is appointed to the parish as their new vicar. And they're all, waiting in anticipation for this new vicar to arrive. And a female turns up. They're all initially shocked. But of course, David Horton, more so than anybody else, tries to get rid of her immediately. Now, they're all great comedy roles in The Vicar of Dibley. There's 8 people. We've got Geraldine Granger, who's larger than life, fun-loving, cheeky sense of humour. Alice Tinker, a bit slow-witted, naive, but with a lovely childlike innocence. David Horton, who is pompous and condescending. Hugo, shy and awkward. Jim Trott, yes. Hewitt, Owen Hewitt, the farmer. He spends more time on the loo than he does on the farm. And we've got Frank Pickle. He meticulously takes the minutes of the parish meetings. Nothing that's past him. And then we've got Letitia Coxley. Not so much Master Chef, but more Disaster Chef. She also doubles up as the flower arranger in the church. And to quote David Horton, he's seen better arrangements of composting. Bounce one another beautifully. And I won't be looking for impersonations of the characters, but I want to stay very faithful to the mannerisms and the behaviour of the characters. Now, lots of you may think, oh, Vicar of Dibley, it's done so many times. I saw it here, saw it there, saw it in Stevenage, saw it in Hertford. But there is not a set script for the Vicar of Dibley. What you do, when you apply for the licence, you have to tell them what episodes you want to do. And then once the licence is granted, they will give you permission and access to download the scripts from the actual episodes. So if you've been to Hertford and you've seen it, or you've been to Hitchin or wherever, you won't necessarily be seeing the same Vicar of Dibley. It's going to be a very, very fun production to be in, and I know there's going to be lots and lots of laughs along the way. I love comedy. I really do love comedy, and I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into this one. As you know, it's running from 23rd of April to 1st of May. I don't have scripts at the moment, but if anybody's interested or any further questions you need to know, just come and see me in the bar after and come have a chat.
Coming on to the next show, which is the final studio show of the season, with a Pinter double bill from new director Becky Doe.
Good evening, everyone. Mrs. Strange being up here and not in character. When delivering a speech, we're often told to try to picture everyone naked to help the nerves. Thanks to be directing here next season. Studio will be presenting a double bill of 2 short plays by Harold Pinter, The Dumb Waiter and The Collection. Both these plays explore real human reactions to uncertainty, pressure, and fear. They give us the opportunity and scope to explore complex relationships, which is exactly why I've chosen these 2 plays. Although they are very different in style and atmosphere, both are deeply concerned with betrayal, personal betrayal, professional betrayal, and a betrayal that happens when language itself becomes unreliable. The dumbwaiter takes place in a claustrophobic basement room that feels grungy, dim, and dirty. Two hitmen, or women, wait for instructions, trapped together in an environment that slowly becomes hostile and unstable. The play builds constant suspense as we see the characters growing fear, confusion, and dependence on authority. The dumbwaiter itself almost becomes a third character, with its sudden movements and food orders interrupting the action and increasing absurdity and menace. I want to explore the hidden intentions of these characters, often found in what is not being said. I want the audience to sympathise with Gus and perhaps question Ben's motives all along. Sound and lighting will be crucial in creating this unsettling atmosphere. The set will have 2 beds and a dumbwaiter. Special effects by James. Then we move into a completely different world of the collection. Here, everything is stylish, clean, and sophisticated. Elegant apartments, bashful people, and polished conversation. But underneath the sophistication is a maze of manipulation. After an accusation of a one-night stand, each character has their own version of the truth, and the play becomes a battle of storytelling. The characters constantly reshape events to suit their own needs. I want the audience to leave discussing whose story seems most likely and questioning their reasons behind each version. There'll be 2 apartment living rooms and a telephone box. Together, these plays show 2 sides of Pinter's world, one dark and oppressive, the other sleek and seductive, but both expose how fragile trust can really be. I'd love to hear from anyone interested in helping bring these 2 great plays to life. Luckily, I have Fiona on board as production manager. Thank you very much. And lighting and sound is covered. I am looking for an assistant director, ideally someone who has worked in the studio before. Both plays are approximately 1 hour long. The dumbwaiter, I'm looking for 2 people of the same sex. The collection, I'm looking for 3 men and 1 woman, with the actor playing Harry being significantly older. 2 great plays, 6 character-driven roles, all with their own stories to tell. The playing dates are 2nd to 5th June, no, they're not. Thank you, Danny. And haven't decided what to do with a cat for the collection yet, but anyone sees Jan, maybe she could chuck her costume back on for this one. Please.
Wow, that was 11 shows. So we come to our season finale, the 12th show. An intriguing one, this one, very powerful. And in the absolutely capable hands of Laura Eddy. Right.
The Welkin by Lucy Kirkwood. The Welkin, an old term for the sky, the vault of heaven, is a fitting title for a play that asks the enormous questions about justice, truth, and the experiences of women when the heavens seem silent. It is set on the Norfolk-Suffolk border in 1759, during the arrival of Halley's Comet. The comet appears every 75 years, last seen in 1986 and due in July 2061. It offers a reminder that, as with comic cycles, social structures for women can still be fixed and unmoving. Our play opens with Sally Poppy. Drenched in the blood from the child she and her lover are convicted of murdering and dismembering, and holding a plaited ponytail taken from the victim's head. Her lover is immediately hanged, but to escape execution, Sally pleads the belly. A jury of matrons is impaneled to judge the truth of her claims. Towards the end of the play, the action becomes increasingly harrowing, rising to a rare pitch of cruelty and violence that will shock you. And if that hasn't put you off, Pleading the belly was a process in common law which permitted pregnant women to receive a stay of execution until after she bore her child. Used from at least 1300s, it wasn't until 1931 that pregnant women sentenced to death had their sentences commuted to life in prison. This jury of matrons was used 11 times in the 20th century. This jury are instructed to investigate and pass judgment on Sally's claims. The women are a range of ages, not specified in the cast list, but described as young, young and pregnant, middle-aged, and older. Each have the chance to introduce themselves with a distinctive voice. Every part is a joy for an actress to bring her energy to and to make a rich, vivid, and memorable ensemble. The women of the jury swap experiences of childbirth, waver in their opinions, change sides, bicker, banter, argue, physically fight. An elected mute breaks her 20-year silence to speak of a devil with dugs hung down like rotten pears. They each introduce themselves when they take their oath, and here are a few examples for you. Mary Middleton, wife to Amos Middleton. I do not know what to tell you, except we have 5 children, and there is a tankard in our house that is haunted. It flies across the room sometimes unbidden, but I am the only one to have seen it, and my husband says he will not throw out a good tankard on my account. Miss Emma Jenkins, wife of Walter, mother to William. We have a shop selling dry goods, a chimney that smokes, and a drain at the front of our house that has a foul odour. My son weighed 12 pounds when he was born, but we get along very well now. Peg Carter. My husband is David, who is a gardener to the Wax family after his father and grandfather before him. This last year, he has planted a Judas tree, lilacs and dahlias in blue and gold pots. He is a fine man and knows many things, such as hanging a hog's hoof to catch earwigs. And also, there is this thing that he's able to do with his tongue, which I find very amenable. Judith Brewer. I met my Peter when he was a boy, nailed us together as we admired the 12th night cakes in the window of a pastry cook in Norwich. I find myself in the middle of dodging time, and though I'm wholly fond of my husband, I've lately had wild dreams concerning a young ploughman that has lost his shirt in a rainstorm. Sometimes I'm seized by a hot, ungovernable rage, so though it be March, I hope the other ladies will consent to having the windows open. The most significant of these women is Elizabeth Luke, the local midwife who remembers bringing Sally into the world. As the midwife leading the jury, Elizabeth is a driving force and a crucial role. She is fiercely intelligent, authoritative, and morally courageous. She stands at the centre of the play's emotional and ethical conflict, driven by reason and experience. She's unafraid to challenge the court and those around her, becoming a powerful voice against ignorance and prejudice. But this case pushes her into uncertainty. Elizabeth is a complex role demanding strength, nuance, and emotional depth. The woman accused, Sally, is an angry woman, unpredictable, fierce, and impossible to pin down. Accused of a brutal murder, she dominates the stage with a volatile mix of defiance, sharp, dark wit, and raw vulnerability. It's a role that offers an actress the chance to be both terrifying and deeply compelling. Sally is in turn elusive, manipulative, desperate, and fighting for her life. Every scene is a charged battle of power, class, and truth. Her fight for survival is harrowing and requires a bold and brave actress to carry it off. There is plenty of material that applies to contemporary women's experiences in the discussion of the female body as a contested site, the vilification of women, and the authority of a male doctor over the lived experiences of the women. Bloodlust in an unruly crowd is also highly relevant today. Symptoms of pregnancy are discussed in great detail. To digress, in reading about historical pregnancy tests, I learned that the ancient Egyptians would urinate on barley and wheat seeds. If the barley sprouted, you were pregnant with a boy. If the wheat sprouted, you were pregnant with a girl. To digress further, in 1986, I went to the doctor and told him I was feeling sick. And he leant over the desk, no word of a lie, pressed my right breast. And when I said, "Does that hurt?" he said, "You're pregnant." He was right. So the more things change, the more things they stay the same. And luckily, I wasn't due to be hacked. There are certain anachronisms in the text, and some productions have used a cappella version of Kate Bush running up that hill. In the dialogue, Kirkwood mixes historical phrases like "here we be" and "breasts being like a pair of chirps" with more contemporary bon mots such as "I'll kick your cock into your kidneys." Three different male roles played by the same man. There's also a soot avalanche from a chimney. Coincidentally, another thing that happened to me in the 80s. So if anyone has any ideas about how that can be achieved, let me know. Sharon Francis has agreed to be our stage manager, so we'll be in good hands. You will play pregnant women, barren women, jealous women, holy women, and downright bad women. The Welkin isn't just historical drama, it's vital, timely, and fiercely alive. Beneath the corsets and the candles, it's about our bodies, our choices, and our voices, and who gets to be believed. It's about the way women's stories echo across centuries. It's angry, messy, funny, glorious, violent, and desperate. I'm convinced this will be an extremely rewarding play to be part of, and I sincerely hope that many of you will audition.
It's shocking. It takes your breath away. It's amazing. Anyway, so there we have it. There's the whole season. I hope we've whetted your appetite so that you will want to get involved with one or more plays next year. Please do. Most of the directors will be in the bar now for however long. If you want to go and ask any other questions or tell them of your interest or whatever. Thank you all for coming, and see you again. It's time. It was the holiday that you got to get one from this switch up really fast. But yeah, it was so nice where it was. That's the thing is that